Hi, welcome back to Let's Talk Sis with your girl Tameca. So it's been a while since I've told y'all guys like the purpose of why I created the podcast. But I just feel like in our community, I've been feeling this heavy on my heart lately that we need to make sure that we are connected with each other and like we live in the best life we can live and we can create legacies for our children. I know my kids, my son and my co-host son was on the podcast last week, and it just got me to thinking about what are we leaving for our children. So the purpose of the podcast is just to connect us in the community. So look out for the networking that I'm going to be doing and the different people that are going to be coming on in the next couple of months. But you can catch me on centralcityradio.com. We on our YouTube station, Central City Radio. You can catch me on Tameca Howell at yahoo.com, Tameca Howell on my Facebook, Tameca8 on my Instagram. And I'm not going to tell you about TikTok and all that right now because I ain't even doing that. So I'm going to let my co-host introduce himself. He's going to be leading the show today. I'm going to be quiet, y'all. Let's see how that go.
Yeah, we're going to see how that go. But it's your man, 50 grand, Mr. Convo, Mr. Convo 585, all that flat. Facebook, Instagram. No, haven't got a chance to get my YouTube up, but I'm working on that diligently. So it's going to be slow-mo, but we getting there.
Let's go.
So, you know, it's been a long weekend. Let's do a little quick check-in. How was your week? How was your weekend? What's good?
Hey, I'm good, y'all. I'm doing real well right now. So my business is doing what it's doing. My kids trying to line up, trying not to line up. You know how that go. And
Holla.
I'm just, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Holla.
I'm just here, y'all.
Nah, you doing it more than just here. You know, your intro saying you was getting back into your businesses and getting back into, you know, these streets up out here. So trying to make this different. So, you know what, I'm kind of glad you started off with that because one of the things that was on my heart this week after, you know, everything that has transpired, been reading a couple articles, been seeing some things on tape and news and everything like that. I wanted to talk about, do you think the parents are actually paying attention to their kids? Like, you know, we talk about the music and we talk about, you know, the schools, but do you feel the parents are actually doing their part in the home?
I think all I talk about is how they're not. And a lot of typically what I'm finding is they're not, and that's why the music is so important, and that's why school is so important. But I don't know. I'm all in my kids' business. Like I say all the time. I mean, I make sure that I check in with them. I talk to them. I open doors, close doors. I, you know, watch their movements. So, but as a whole, I'm gonna have to go with a no if I just had to look out in the community and see what's happening. Because I mean, if you watching your kids, I don't think they would be able to do so much. I just don't, you know, when I see kids out on the street or getting shot and killed at 3 a.m,
yeah, that's
I know
wild.
where my kids are and they're 14, 15, 16. No, they're not. My kids are not going to be outside at 3 o'clock in the morning for not one reason. Even if, go ahead.
Can we go back to, like, do you think, like, sometimes you feel like when you see the young boys, you want to approach them, but then, you know, you have to be forced to stay in your lane because they just so wild and unapproachable? It's crazy, right?
Unapproachable, stay in your lane. I
mean, because you know, a lot of times bad things and not good decisions come about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning. You might be coming home from work or business meeting or just, you know, just taking a ride, clearing your head, and you see these, you know, these young dudes or these young girls out early in the morning, you know. And, I know back in my day, the older cats used to be like, yo, shorty, what you doing out here? Get your butt back in the house. You know your mama gonna come out here and kill up everybody about you.
I think that I don't be outside at that time to see it. I just see when I see the news and I look at the time. So, but I know that anytime anybody comes in my realm of influence, I don't feel like staying in my own lane. I know that it's probably unsafe to like just go and approach them on the street. So I think I probably would be kind of apprehensive of that. But listen, right now we got to get bold in these streets. Like, they're not coming to us. Where some of them aren't going to school, some of them aren't coming to church, some of them aren't in the areas that we are. So what are we going to do? We got to start boldly going forth and approaching them in those ways.
It's necessary, man. I think it's a necessary thing that, you know, and it's a way you just approaching. I know you're just not going to just go in and go like you bust rhymes or anything like that. But, you know, a slow approach, you know, a slow approach or something, you know, that'll catch their eye. And maybe a quick ear, and maybe you can get that message across to them, like, yo, shorty, take your butt home, man. Ain't nothing out here but bust some trouble right now. What you doing? You know, you be like, yo, I know your mother. You know, you supposed to be in school. You're not this tough guy you think you is out here on these streets, man. What's going on with that?
I think that like Dante was talking last week, is about finding a safe haven. There's a property that I've been having my eye on, and I think that it's about that time, man. You know, I have to go forth and walk out, and I heard my son say there's no safe haven, and I agree. So on the south side, I wanted to create a rec center. They took my first building, but I'm praying on the second building.
That all the time.
I want them to have somewhere where they can go. It's about to be summer, you know. So what if we create a place that they could go and play their games and, you know, do all the play basketball, throw the ball around and stuff like that. That would be now us being able to easier influence, you know, them. And you know, my goal has always been to hit the parents, and then so that they can hit the children. I know you always talk about, like, you want to holler at the kids. I want to holler at the parents, because they have to be able to
transition.
And they gonna still need that parent support.
And not just in sports, man. I think too, a lot of the times, I think if you get some of these young men to just kind of sit down in a safe space where nobody has to know, none of your homeboys gotta know, just y'all two dudes who really got the problem with each other. Y'all two dudes come down here, sit down at the round table, and we can hash this thing out. Ain't nobody else got to know unless you leak that information. I think that's needed in our community.
You're talking about doing mediation?
Yeah, doing a mediation, because a lot of these things in the streets is all about what you said on social media. You might have talked a little crazy, you might have said something out of pocket, you know, and then it has to turn to somebody getting hurt, or somebody family member getting hurt, or just being approached in the wrong way. And I think it's necessary to sit down at the round table nowadays.
Yeah, the round table. I think that we got to start talking about it, flip the convo, you know. I believe that some of these things come from some of the parents' mindset and the stuff that they have trickled down to their children.
Facts.
Because when I told you about that stuff when my daughter got into a fight, them parents came up there with choppers to the school.
Man, that's crazy.
They beat up my sister, the men. It wasn't even the women. And when I was outside listening to them, they wasn't sounding like you could be able to talk to them.
That's
so
crazy.
How you gonna, if you grew up with that mindset, right?
Come on, bros. Keep your hands off the women.
Man, it was bad business.
That's terrible. Please don't touch mine. I'm a different breed.
Oh, he on here.
I'm begging. Don't touch mine, please.
He might be threatened. Here he go.
No.
Flip the convo, sir.
Yeah.
Like, we need to stay. We need to be able to come together and have a conversation. But you know what's crazy is, I said when I was standing outside, they didn't know who I was, and so I'm on the other side. So they say, but you know, I'm on everybody's side. So I said, but they were saying, yeah, something about the kids, and I said, but that's not true. All of them are in trouble.
Right.
I said, and we should be able to talk. Oh, who are you? Whose parents are you? And then the security guard had to pull me in the building because they all started swarming me. Man. But all I wanted to do was have some conversation.
And that's it.
That's all I wanted to do.
But see, these mindsets is crazy from the parents, and y'all think y'all not leaking that negative energy to y'all kids. Please, man, get a grip on yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and smack the first person you see if you think that's not happening.
You can't.
Facts.
Okay, well, come on with some other facts. What else you got for us today?
What you think I got? What you think I got? You know, I stay on point. I stay juicy. So, you know, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about some preference things. You want to talk about preference real quick? Let's talk about, you know, when it comes to, you know, relationships and all that. Do you think women prefer men that are already established, or they don't mind building with a brother? Talk to me. Take a deep breath, because this going to take a good one from you.
Let me see. Do women prefer...
Do you think? What you think?
I don't think that those are... Like, if you're talking about a woman and a real woman, I don't think those are the topics that are at hand right now. So I gotta really think about it. But I can only... On this particular topic, it was something that I would probably have to... I would say probably they want to have them to be a little bit established. I think just because we're tired of helping build, and it just be us building and they're not building with us. So I would say that, but that's a good question. We're gonna have to park a lot that one. If you're asking for me, I don't mind building with you as long as you already got some of the blocks there. Established, I don't really know what that means. Does that mean like you're working in your career, you got a little bit of money?
When I say what established means is, it's like, you know, when you coming in out the mud, when you building and you see that light and you grind to get to there, and you there, and it's not about the money, but you have the connections, you have the phone numbers, you have the email addresses, you have, the call, who to call for this, who to call for that, and then, the assets start to outweigh the money. So
I think that, so if you're talking about me, I'm looking for the ambition that you're talking about right now. I'm looking for the endurance. I'm looking for you to hit the ground running. I'm looking for you to have that mindset. I'm looking for you not to be a potential, but for you to actually be doing what you say, and that could be in multiple areas.
You sound like an NBA draft pick or something.
I'm just we drafted somebody because when I tell you these men ain't making the cut, bro, they not making the cut.
Can they try out? What's going on?
So I'm getting to the point where I don't even want nobody to be trying out no more. Nobody got time. I ain't trying to even be funny. Like, I don't know. These past couple of weeks, I've been feeling some type of way, but we'll talk about that later. But I think that you got to be strategic, because at this age, I'm almost 50 years old. At this age, nobody got time to be.
Wait a minute, wasn't I just old a couple weeks ago?
You still old. You're still old.
Now.
You're 50 already, you're old already. I'm getting there.
How we gonna do that?
I'm getting there. And I think I told y'all last week I was 21 or somewhere in there. I'm old enough to drink. No, but I think that it got to be some strategic steps towards your when we start talking about legacies and building empires and longevity and stuff, we can't just be looking at potential, because everybody got the potential. You understand what I'm saying? I used to tell my sisters in my group, like, I understand that he got potential, but is he even working towards that? So when you talk about established, or you talk about those two, to me, those aren't my issues. My issues is the other things, because we could get there. If you have, this is why people got to understand what women are supposed to do, and how, remember we were talking about our purpose and all that stuff. We can help. If you already moving towards a target, I could help you get to the target. We can help each other get to the target. We could better each other. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So
two born arrows going straight.
I don't need nobody to be established. I just need them not to be sitting around talking about what they gonna do, and they've been talking about that for 10 years. I need that not to happen.
That happens a lot too. Unfortunately, a lot of us we kind of get stuck and brothers, we get stuck in our own head, and sometimes, I think we stand in our own way. I really do.
When y'all gonna move?
Well, it ain't about moving. It's about getting that proper push to get out our own way.
Sometimes
it's not even about the support.
Y'all gotta stop.
It's a certain way you have to push them. You can't just be, you just can't. Don't push me because you're close to the edge type push, but you
not to lose my head.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Got to figure it out. It's like a jungle sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Make me wonder how I keep from going under. Don't start. I think that's a good point. Taking a proper push. I mean, those are tools that I think that we have to work on. Like I said about when we talk about masculine and feminine energy, when we have been made to do all the stuff, we don't always got the nicest push sometimes.
Nah, y'all
because
don't.
I'm tired.
I
just want to bulldoze you over there. That's
Stop
it.
That,
Hurry
man.
up.
Can't I know the worst thing we do is I hate when people say that the best thing we have is time. No, you don't.
I don't have any.
You don't have no time.
I don't have a lot of time now. Listen,
nah, you always gonna have more time than money.
I got 7 years to retire, y'all. So y'all can put in y'all applications if you ready to move on. Let's get this. I got 7 years application.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be taking interviews for the next month, and then we gonna see what happens.
You know what, too? Have you been reading my notes again?
No, I ain't never.
I don't like this, man. Every time you say so, I think.
Did you say talk about applications?
You talk about applications.
You got somebody that's put in an application for Tameca?
Nah, but what I'm saying is, but check this out.
I'll check it.
I was actually talking about people creating jobs in their own community rather than taking these jobs and taking them out of the community and always saying like there's nothing for them. But you got $1 million, you come from this hood, and there's nothing in the hood for these people to go work at, and you have the proper angles, you have all the resources to do that.
Yeah.
But you call yourself in a G and a boss in the music.
I'm crazy.
Like, come on, bruh.
Well, we already know that the people that are in our communities that have the money, the real money. They're not coming to help us. They're not coming to they're just not. I was one of my clients, he owns, I think it's Arizona Premier Limousines. I think. Ooh, I think that's what it is. So he get all the NBA stars and all them people that when they come out here. And I asked him the other day, I said, how can you connect your people with my people so that we can, try to collab in the community? And so we're gonna be working on that. I don't know how easy that are, because I asked him, I said, are they bougie? He said they bougie.
They bougetto.
He said they bougie. He said, because he was talking about my people have already made it. And I said, well, what does that look like? So then he was telling me.
You have to look like them. You have to be in their realm.
But I think that I wish that even if they don't do that, bro, I think that we
a lot of them forget where they come. A lot of them forget where they come from. Honestly, they always talk about this. They talk about getting it from the bud. But you know what? You're not even helping the dudes who have the creative mind to grind out the mud without all the extra BS with them. Yeah. What's up with helping some of them dudes who's struggling in college? Yeah. Why you ain't paying for some of them books? Yeah. What's the difference between his mud and the other person's mud? Because he's selling drugs and his mother had a little bit of harder life. That bill come the same way. So something else that I've been wanting to create. Y'all got to tap in. Man,
okay?
subscribe, man. Subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. Let's go. Central City Radio.
I'm about to get back into this, but I was talking about even like, why can't we make small grants or have small money for within our community? I don't care if we just pay for the person to get their corporate commission license, you know what I mean, for their business. But why can't the businesses that I know, why can't we chip in and create a grant for them? You understand what I'm saying?
Think it's
needed. Small, but it's something that they probably need. And then we offer them, offer them like a 3 months mentorship or 6 months or a year.
That's a great idea.
Somebody get them a website, somebody get them a logo, somebody get them their first photo. Do you know?
Can I be a part of that right there? No. That sounds like I can't be a part of that right there. You kicking me out the community?
Wait, you gonna be a part? What part of the person?
You kicking me out of the community already?
You. Bro, you listen. We'll talk about y'all. We gotta talk about that off air. No, but no, you could be a part. Anybody could be a part. But I really want us to be able to, help those people. I know though. I have people that's all in marketing, all of that stuff. I was just thinking the other day, like, how can I help them? Because when I'm sitting there and I don't really think about how many people that I know, but then I'm like, you know what? We might be able to help a couple people a year. At least, and help them get their start, and maybe that'll get confidence. And then go back to your first question, then that'll start to, when you feel good about yourself, remember we was talking about the self-actualization stage?
Yes.
When you get to there, you can help somebody else because you at the place. That's what I call made it.
That's secure in yourself. Being secure within yourself. That's what I call made
it, right?
Right. You know what? I met some other people too, not to call you up, but I met some other people yesterday. Some a black guy and a young lady, at the gas station. They were just talking. I was ear hustling, and I kind of jumped in on their conversation, and I apologize for it. But they were actually talking about opening up group homes, and I gave them my number.
Okay.
So, and I like the way they were talking. They were talking like good business. You should have brought them
on the podcast.
Well, it's
See, this is what, brother. Let me tell you something.
Hold on, you got to understand the way I network. First I give them my number to see if we can connect like that. And then if we could connect like that, we can move on further.
I think I must be too pushy, because I know that, because you talked about pushing people.
Yeah.
So I be getting their number so that I can call them and say, hey, I'm just checking in. I want to see what you
because I like to see how serious people is, because me coming in on their conversation, bro, that was rude anyway.
But they needed that. That's why you was at the time.
So I was like,
I
take these digits.
Be quiet, y'all. Let me be quiet.
You good. You actually doing good this week. You giving me a little shine. I appreciate that,
So the self-actualization stage
Let's go.
is I just went back to my notes. It says achieving one's full potential and including creative activities. So when you get to that stage, that's when you at your potential. See, people like to judge themselves based upon what's in their pocket.
Man,
you understand what I'm saying?
That's everybody. A lot of people have those judgments and prejudices. Those are prejudices that need to go.
the Bible say, and I know you could be getting on me when I say this, the love of money is the root to all kind of evil. He never told you that money was. He said the loving of the money. So I'm not interested in, I really want to just help and just be a blessing to people. So if I have the money to do it, then that's what it is.
If you would do anything for the money, please stay away from me. When you say anything, I take that very seriously. That's a nice word. Anything. That's serious.
They be doing anything.
What?
Not anything.
Y'all know what we talking about.
They be doing anything for the money. So, what else you got for us today? What else you got?
I'm saying though,
you done put your notes up.
Yeah, I done put my notes up because I'm going off the top of the head because I want to go back to, like you said, my lane. My lane is helping kids. So I actually had a chance to talk to one of the young men in the community, in the complex, and he had some very good things to say. He was like he would like to see more things within the area built so they can actually get to it without their parents having to drive 30 miles there and back to have their kids actually be in a program. A lot of these kids, their parents are working so much, or the schedules.
But why we can't just bus them? Remember, I was talking about how
creating that transportation, man, and taking that cost away. That that cost association thing we got going on with everything in the community. When did that happen?
I don't know.
Everything
my son about
got
to go.
Cost.
They trying to. He done sent me. Wait, let me tell you. They going to a football camp. I think it's in California.
Oh, that's $5,000.
Well, so it's $1,000 per kid, but he sent me the link and it says 60,000. I said, son, I think you done sent me the wrong. I don't think you done sent me the wrong. He
you
said,
signed
no, it's
already?
60,000.
You signed already?
I said, what y'all finna do for? Then he explained that it was $1,000 per child, and it's $1,000 per child for like 4 days or something like that. Now my kid will be going.
Ooh.
I'm just saying
All
because
right,
of the exposure. But so we're gonna try to raise this money. Hey y'all, tap in because I'm gonna put it right on here that we need to tap in and see if y'all want to help support these kids because we're in a Title I school district. Some of these kids may not be able to go because their parents can't.
Man, that's crazy.
Their parents can't.
I think that was strategically done to keep a lot of the minorities out of sports. That's just my personal opinion.
I ain't listen. It seems like everything be agenda. So, but
when you don't think it's there, right?
I'm hoping that some of y'all will tap in and link arms with us, and brother, I hope you be serious about the things you say, and we can continue to work in this community.
I'm ready
because I'm busting out. I'm rebranding myself, y'all. It's gonna be www.tameca.com, and y'all gonna see y'all gonna be tired of seeing me. Cause
I don't know what mine gonna be, but I'm gonna be somewhere in the building. I don't gotta listen. I'm not the dude who got to be up front. I could be in the back. I'm cool with that.
Me too. I'm like that too, but I think that I be the one starting stuff though. So I
like starting stuff too. Now don't get it twisted.
Let's start it.
Let's get it, man.
So these kids can get to their self-actualization stage, and so that I think that we're basically starting from the basic stages, making sure they're secure and make sure they have the things that they need.
One right there. Security,
safety. But then remember the third stage was finding a belonging. People need to have intimate relationships and friends and people that love them. It's so interesting in our community. The
body needs intimacy.
I finna say this physical stuff. Y'all can't hug. You can't. My kids be trying to act weird. I'll be like, I love you. They be like, okay, mama, you ain't got to say it out loud. Don't get out the car acting up there because I rolls windows down and all kind of stuff.
You be looking back like, mama, come on, man. You see my boys
Listen, that don't matter. Y'all should normalize telling your boys that you love them.
And your girls. And your girls.
Telling people that you love them because it's normal
girls.
to tell people
start
that you
leading
love them.
your girls away from that OnlyFans stuff. I mean, you know what? To be a female, honestly, and I heard this, man, and I would have gave the same advice. I had a female come to me, and she was kind of insecure about going to college and not creating OnlyFans because a lot of her friends done created the OnlyFans, and they flying everywhere, they getting all this money, and they meeting all these people. And I said, you know what? I have to say that too. You know what? Be comfortable in how you step.
I like
it. If your steps are college and you feel comfortable with doing that, stay that. Be comfortable in your steps, man, because maybe that Instagram and them pictures and photos and that life ain't for you. You know, you never know what's on the other side of that mountain. That, like your mom said, that green ain't always grass. Or going over there and jumping that green quicksand.
Right, okay.
You ain't know what that green quicksand is? That quick money.
Right.
What you got to do for that money? How you not gonna be in the surroundings and that you don't want to be in, and parties that you don't want to be in?
When I was
putting yourself in bad situations. Yo, young bull. Be comfortable.
When I was a young bull,
you can't be no young bull.
Who, me?
No.
Why? Because you can't be
a dude. That's a dude. That's a young bull.
Bull at. When I was a young boy, I remember that, you know, we used to go try to what's the word called, audition for like Luke and Luther Campbell and what's the little ghetto boys and all them. Let me tell y'all something. We would get there. First of all, them girls had no clothes on and I don't get down. Then they would try to tell us, come here, you got to come in this room and holla at the people. Who are you? They're nobody. They're the people just looking. You got to come holla at them first. So I remember going with this girl that I had went with, and I don't know, she stayed and I was out of there because I came to really dance and like dance.
Just
like I came
to
audition to be on the little stage and do your little. I did not come to be in the room with nobody.
You ain't come in the room to drop them.
I didn't come in the room to be with nobody. Man. And you said be comfortable in how you step. They wasn't finna convince me to step no type of way that they didn't want to step in nothing.
And two, you know what? Not being funny, y'all superstars who got all the paper and doing all these shows, y'all think every woman is coming to these shows to do things like that. Y'all better calm your little hormones down too. A lot of y'all starting to get in trouble for real behind them actions.
Man,
I'm here to tell you the judges ain't playing with y'all with that one, man. If a female say no, if she ain't trying to do that, if you ain't let that lady know what's up beforehand, man, ain't no forcing, man. If she say no, I don't care if you think she playing, let her walk away, or you gonna find yourself in a heap of trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Heap of trouble. Trouble you don't want. Hey, honestly, I think that's worse than going through like drugs and things and stuff like that. You know, when you get those charges on you, that's about the same thing. That's about the same heat because them judges ain't trying to hear this no more. They handing out numbers. Big numbers. I mean,
but it's about time. It's, you know, so this is the unpopular opinion, but like I quickly changed R. Kelly. I've been not listening to him before all this stuff happened. Back in the day when I found that out, I can't support that. And people be like, his music is different. You're supporting him. So the reason why he's able to have access to so many of these young girls is because, I didn't try to get on here.
Nah, he was actually strange. This dude was going to the schools and stuff.
But listen, he had access to them, more of them, because we're promoting and listening to his music and he's getting the money from that and he's in these realms. You know how they like, that's not something I have a problem with. And people do what y'all do. Do what y'all do. Do what you do. However, when you support, you can't just support a half of a thing. Nah. You can't if somebody's sex trafficking, right? They're sex trafficking and then you just I'm confused, right? Like you support that, you don't support that, but you support how they get in the girls. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
The two don't make sense to it. I'm glad you went there. You know, I did like his. I still, understandably, I still like his music, but I take it a little bit differently because I know he has an issue. And right now he's dealing with his issues, and I think
no, he ain't dealing.
Honestly,
he's just in jail.
I think he was already telling us his issues, but we was
when you deal with your issues, he's a Pied Piper. But anyway.
They played all the music to all the music that he played, that he made, was used against him to put him right where he at right now.
So of course there was some issues. I believe he had some
already. Some underlying
problems.
Issues already. He was telling us in the music.
Right, but also how him and his mama, they was... I didn't mean to get on here. Wait a minute, whoa.
No, I wasn't
trying to talk about...
Let's talk sis.
I wasn't talking about R. Kelly on here. However, I am talking about how we support anything sometimes, and sometimes you got to stand for something. You got to stand for something.
We'll support that, but we won't support nothing
what you
that
say,
somebody
be comfortable
doing.
in how you step in. I have a lot of... I'm cute with my little... Look, y'all. Wait, I'm on Facebook Live, y'all.
She gonna talk about look y'all,
But they can see me on Facebook Live. Hey
it's on
y'all.
the radio.
Hey y'all, they see me on Facebook Live. Today I'm on Facebook Live. But anyway, listen.
Facebook Live, let's go. That's
you
different.
said be comfortable in how you step. and be unique in that. And
let's stop making
people who
fun
know
of people
me
got
know
jobs
that,
too.
You know, people. I think that I never went with the status quo. You know what I mean? Like
what's status quo? What's the status quo right now? Let's go.
Having your everything out. I think
that's the status quo.
Having your everything out.
I think spandex changed the way everything has shaped out right now too. Cause man.
I think that people are not operating in their purposes and in order to push they're not pushing movements because they're allowing people to discourage them or say that it ain't gonna work. Listen, y'all don't know how many things that I wouldn't have done if somebody was if I did what people said I couldn't do. You know, I'm in the field I work in. I'm very successful in the field that I work in, and I was the little black girl that was doing stuff at 18 and 19.
You ain't black. You over here looking just as light skinned as they come.
I'm still y'all ain't got my Black Lives Matter thing on today, but y'all know it's melanin on mine all day,
but
every day.
She got her Black Nefertiti glow going on right now. But check it though. I like what you said though. You know, you brought up a valid point a couple weeks ago, and it was almost kind of like stepping in your own shoes. But you said like, I think it was like being comfortable with the woman you are, being comfortable with the man you are. And you said along with that, you think the world is in trouble and where it's at now because the world is not holding black people where we supposed to be.
I don't know if the world is not. We not holding ourselves.
They hate us.
They do. Listen, but they can't hold you nowhere if you know who you are. You understand what I said? People we used to have this conversation. They would say, because we oppressed. Tameca, me personally, ain't oppressed. You have no authority to oppress me.
Your
now, what can happen? What happened
Your
is
history.
What can happen is you discourage me into being oppressed, depressed, oppressed, whatever we want to call it. But I think that there is some movements that we need to push, and until we stand up and get in our rightful positions and fight like the warriors we are, then we fight
like warriors now, fellas. Let me talk about that. Fellas, we don't always have to use them weapons and all of that to fight. A lot of times that educational battle will outwin even money. If I'm smarter than you, it don't matter how much money you got. You still can't beat me.
I'm not talking about physically. I mean, I think
we
might need a revolution.
I mean, we might have to slap a couple people.
Listen, so
Martin would still be alive if he had to slap a couple people. Because I know it's cheap.
I can't with you. I think we need to definitely do something and be radical about what we do, and I think that that's something that I am ready for, personally.
You sure you ready for that? I mean, that takes a lot of that's heavyweight right there. That ain't
I said in my first podcast, if y'all go back, it was a long time ago.
Woo.
But if I say I said that y'all got to be ready to fight, die for this thing. Man. There's no modern day activists, and I'm not saying per se that I really want to die, but you got to be ready to go forth and do that and do it as boldly as you do anything else.
One of the most important things my daddy ever taught me, I'm sorry for cutting you up, but one of the first important things my daddy always taught me is a man who stands for nothing is not a man.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that again.
A man who stands for nothing.
A man who stands for nothing is not a man.
I should have put you on video.
That means you gonna let any and everybody just step right on your nads. You not a man.
What
you got to stand up for yourself.
We could pull that for a woman too. Like we have to. What do you stand for? I think we're gonna go back and revisit the legacy, building a legacy and creating a legacy podcast. We're gonna go recreate that and see.
Let's go. What you say last week? Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Right. We finna go back and say that.
I think that's not a
y'all tap in with the things that y'all want us to talk about. I mean, we have ideas, but I know we personally
got a lot of topics.
We personally talk a lot about relationships. Right?
I mean, if y'all tap in and just talk about anything, man, this is a safe space. We not out here like that. I'm not a person who gonna help you or give you something or say something or give you game and then be all here talking about you. First of all, I'm not from here, so that gives you a safe space right here.
Who you gonna go talk to?
I didn't go to school with your cousin. I don't know your uncle. I don't know your grandma. So talking to me is just like talking to a best friend. You could talk to me, man. Let's go. We as long as we keep it respectable, we could talk about anything in this world. And that's one of the things I actually told my son too. And that really helped us build a better bond, because you know what? We went through some things a couple times, and it took me being a better person than what I was a few years ago to even understand what he was saying and actually be the man to step up and hold myself accountable also, and be able to hear what he was actually saying.
Not what, and listening to understand and not to respond.
Yeah.
I know in class I always talk about people will communicate and talk to you when they feel safe.
Correct.
And I always talk about my mama. That's the safest place. My mama know everything. When I say and
even in that atmosphere too, you have to have
my mama shouldn't know.
You have to have that great atmosphere too. You have to watch your facial figures too, your facial expressions when you actually talk with your kids, because you might, how we do, we'll hear something that they said and that facial expression will go ill, and then we just change the whole.
But that's all part of making it safe. It's your communication, that you allowing them to speak. Having some boundaries about how, because I know a lot about like even sexually. I know when they started having sex.
Nonverbal communication is 80% of communication. Mm-hmm.
I was trying to make some kind of verbal expression.
You don't need that. Your face said it all.
Verbal expressions. But anyway, so listen, we want y'all to tap in. There's one thing that I saw, an interesting thing I saw this week. So I always talk about love languages, and love languages, that's how we experience love. And we talked about that before. We're going to come back and revisit that. But he said apologize in that other person's love language, or it is an apology. Ooh. I was like, woo. He said, if I need a verbal apology, and you come and try to give me some cakes, that ain't gonna do nothing. Or flowers, it ain't gonna do nothing. If I need a hug and you trying to give me some words, that's not gonna work. That was deep. I didn't even think about apologizing in the way that person needs you to apologize. I apologize a lot. I always tell people that I try to. Y'all saw last week I apologized to my son. I try to apologize for my wrongs, and it's not about whether that person didn't do something to get a reaction out of me. It's about, was my reaction something that it should have been, or was it something that I need to apologize for? So I apologize, but that's just for me to take my apology to the next level. However, what I will tell y'all now, I'm having a problem with people not apologizing to me, people not treating me some type of way. Y'all gonna have to tap in and tell me how to do that. I'm trying not to be bitter about it, because it's my calling to be I feel like God has.
You got too many bright spots to be bitter about anything, man. Your for real, today your glow is really shining. I ain't even just saying that because I'm your co-host.
These braids did what they listen.
They might have. She got it right today,
shout
y'all.
Out to
she
my
got
sis.
It right, man.
Listen, let me tell y'all. Shout out to, because we're gonna start shouting out some of these black businesses. Yeah. Shout out to my sis Cheryl.
And that's another
Smith.
thing I think brothers need to start saying. Sisters, start learning how to accept that. Every brother who tell you, hey sister, you know what, yo, you looking nice, or just say, hey, beautiful. That don't mean we always want your phone number and want to get in the bed with you. Sometimes we just want to acknowledge a beautiful person.
That's cool. I like that.
I do that.
Even though
they always. I'm just going.
But listen, though, I think I appreciate that, though. But I really
my sisters, they beautiful. My nieces, all that. They beautiful to me. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Do you think beauty comes from only like the outward appearance?
Heck nah, man. It's some beautiful, ugly folk out here.
Because beautiful, of their inside?
Just terrible on the inside.
Y'all should see his face. I ain't going to put you on blast because you didn't say you wanted to be on video, so I ain't going to.
I don't care today. And I'm roughing and I'm straight out the mud. I had to do some things.
Let's look what his straight out the mud looks like.
This straight hustle. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Straight hustle mode. I had to move, pack, and all that. This is what it looked like, and I'm still
pack, move,
unpack, clean 2 houses. Do all that. Y'all know what it comes with. To get trucks and all of that. Make sure people doing. You know what I'm saying? I had to actually.
So you a little tired today?
Yeah, you know what I had to. That's like running a production. And it was smooth, you know what I'm saying? No injuries, I ain't tear up nobody walls, you know what I'm saying? I ain't run the top off nobody truck at the gas station. You understand me?
Okay.
So we just it was rough, but you know what? I said I had a responsibility there, and I was here on time.
You know what? And it's crazy
is.
because a lot of men don't. They just don't.
When I looked at that coordination, I really did. That's like running.
Did you pop your little collar?
Man, that's like running.
Pop.
Bam.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like running a production for real. While you video, get the shirt.
Get the flip the combo shirt.
Convo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? You said earlier, that you just kind of aggressive. I was kind of aggressive on Saturday. I'm gonna tell you the story. I met a couple people, while I was moving, whatever. They asked me about my shirt, and I was like, "Yo, this the podcast and the merch coming." They was like, "Yeah, we gonna definitely support that." After I told them what the initiative was, they was like, "For real?" I was like,
"See, that's what I'm saying."
Dude was like, "Yo, we need that." And you know what? It was funny because he was Spanish.
Yeah, that's still minority.
Hey, listen. Just because you Spanish, you still part of the minority. Y'all the closest thing to black folks, just like natives.
Okay. Well, this ain't just for black people. This is when I'm talking about a show for us or for us. I'm talking about all minorities because they gonna treat y'all just like they treated us when you go do something.
Your skin color just like mine.
So
get your butt in the car.
So listen, y'all. Today we was just kind of kicking the breeze.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Sometimes we got to de-stress too on this thing here.
But I want y'all to tap into what topics y'all would like us to talk about. I am always talking about relationships in the community, whether it's business to business, business to customer, men to women, women to women.
Promote that.
Because we need to if we start to be able to get ourselves together, then we'll be able to do more stuff. We'll be able to do more stuff.
Build our communities.
Yeah, to build this community. So we're going to come back, I think, next week, and we're going to start talking about building a legacy, y'all. I want y'all to tap in with y'all questions about building a legacy. But I'm sorry, before I forgot, I was trying to do my commercial. So let me shout out my sister, Cheryl Smith, who did my hair. Y'all get at her. If y'all need her, I can send you the information.
She got you right. She's braiding
hair. But we're going to come in here. We're going to shout out some of these businesses, and we're going to get some sponsorship over here.
We need it.
What you want to say on your outro, sir?
I just want to say be on the lookout for all the moves that Miss Hill is doing. She out there. Put some respect on her name. Watch out for
Miss Hill.
Flip the convo. And just look out for us, man. I think all your ideas are gonna go. I think your ideas is what's needed in the community. You filling those needed voids and spaces because we got a lot of holes up in us right now, boy. We looking like Swiss cheese out here in our communities. So, and I want to send a shout out to Central City Radio, man. Tap in, subscribe, hit that like button.
Comment, y'all, because we want to start building some conversation.
Yes, and my 585 people, let's go, man. My Chicago people, let's go. Y'all can tap in, let's go, man. Let's start doing some things. Chicago, y'all know y'all need some safe spaces to talk. I'll come to y'all, man. I am not scared.
Hey, we can take this thing on the road.
Let's go. I am not scared. Y'all need somebody to talk to. I've been around guns, violence, and all that, which I've been around my whole life, man. Y'all make me feel at home. Let's go. I'm one of y'all. Mud baby. Yeah, my son. Let's go.
Okay, he done shout. Now that you done shouted out everybody that you know, everybody.
Yeah.
So y'all tap in though. We about to be out this piece, but I really want y'all to come back and at least tap in about the Legacy Show. But I want y'all to tap in every week. We coming up with some new content.
Ooh,
I'm ready.
Sound good. I had allergies just then.
Boy, ain't nobody listening to you. But anyway, we out this piece, y'all. Have a good week.